Hey everybody, Jeff Robertson here. I want to clear up a mistake I see constantly from new analysts and honestly from experienced ones too. They think vulnerability management means you run a scan, patch whatever shows up red, done. It's not vulnerability management, that's a to-do list. Real vulnerability management is a program. You identify, score, prioritize, fix, verify, and repeat. Every step's got a way to get it wrong. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through how this actually works, the scoring system everybody misuses, and why critical doesn't always mean fix this first. Before anything else, 4 terms get mixed up constantly, and mixing them up leads to bad decisions. Vulnerability is a weakness, a bug, a misconfiguration, a design flaw. It's an unlocked window. Not dangerous by itself, but it's a problem waiting to happen. An exploit is the actual method someone uses to take advantage of that weakness, the technique for climbing through the window. A threat is the realistic potential that the exploit gets used against you. Not every vulnerability is an equal threat, and the context matters. And a 0-day is a vulnerability the vendor doesn't know about yet. That's exactly how many days the vendor has had to build a fix, 0. No patch exists, so you're stuck with workarounds until one ships. Get these confused and you'll either panic over nothing or ignore something that should scare you. With tens of thousands of vulnerabilities found every year, you need a shared language. That's what these 3 databases give you. CVE gives every publicly known vulnerability a unique ID, the year, then a sequential number. Say CVE 2021-4428 to any security professional on the planet, and they know you mean log for shell. No translation needed. The NVD, run by NIST, takes that CVE data and adds the analysis, severity scoring, references to patches. It's your go-to research source. CWE is different. It doesn't catalog individual bugs, it catalogs categories of weaknesses. CWE 79 is cross-site scripting. CWE 89 is SQL injection. If you keep finding CWE 79 across your web apps, the fix is in another patch, it's better input validation across the board. And CVSS is the piece that tells you how bad any given CVE actually is. It deserves its own breakdown, so let's get into it. The part everybody gets wrong, CVSS, which stands for the Common Vulnerability Scoring System, it scores severity from 0 to 10.0 using 3 metric groups. The base, how exploitable, how complex, what's the impact. Temporal, does a working exploit actually exist yet? And environmental, your specific context. CVSS splits into 4 bands. Critical, which is 9 and up, that's drop everything territory. The 2017 Equifax breach happened because a critical Apache struts vulnerability that was a 9.8 sat unpatched for 2 months after a fix was already available. But here's the catch, and it's the thing I drill into every class I teach. CVSS measures severity, not risk. Risk is severity combined with likelihood and business impact. A critical scored bug on an isolated test box with no sensitive data can be a lower real-world risk than a medium-scored bug sitting on your internet-facing login server. Treat CVSS as one input, not the whole decision. Finding the vulnerability is the easy part. Fixing it systematically, that's where a lot of programs fall apart. There's volume. Microsoft's Patch Tuesday alone drops 50 to 150 patches a month. Add every other vendor in your stack, and you're triaging hundreds of updates every month. You can't deploy all of them immediately. Complexity, your environment isn't one OS, it's multiple operating systems, custom apps, cloud, on-premises, and the legacy system nobody wants to touch. A patch that's clean in test can break something critical in production. There's risk. Patches themselves can cause outage. I've personally seen a patch take down a domain controller. In 2018, a Windows 10 update flat out deleted user files, so Microsoft had to pull it. On average, high-end critical patches are applied in 102 days from being issued. Attackers take less than 7 days to develop an exploit. That gap, from 102 days to patch it to under 7 days for the attackers to weaponize, it's the entire ballgame. WannaCry spread globally in 24 hours, exploiting a vulnerability Microsoft had already patched 2 months earlier. The organizations that got hit were the ones that hadn't applied it. So if you can't patch everything immediately, how do you choose what's first? Well, start with CVSS, but don't stop there. The Exploit Prediction Scoring System, or EPSS, uses machine learning to estimate the odds a vulnerability gets exploited in the next 30 days. That tells you what attackers are actually likely to come after. Then factor in asset criticality. Target's 2013 breach is the textbook case. Although attackers got in through a third-party HVAC vendor's credentials, then pivoted over to point-of-sale systems, they walked off with 40 million credit card numbers. The entry point wasn't critical on paper, but the blast radius made it critical in practice. And when you genuinely can't patch yet, compensating controls can buy you time. Virtual breaching through your IPS or web application firewall, disabling the vulnerable feature, network segmentation to limit the blast radius. Just remember, those are bridges, not destinations, so track every one of them and then replace it with a real fix. If you take nothing else from this video, take these three things. A vulnerability isn't a threat until somebody actually exploited it and use it. CVSS tells you how bad. It doesn't tell you how likely or what it costs you. That's risk, and risk is your job to assess, not the scanner. And patch management isn't about patching everything. It's about patching the right things fast enough to matter. I'm Jeff Robertson. If this was useful, like it, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.